Review the Light. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Nitecore EC4, but before we get into it, make sure if you haven't already, go ahead and click right down here to subscribe to my YouTube channel, right up here to follow me on Facebook. That'll make sure you keep up to date with the latest reviews and videos. So, the EC4 by Nitecore is one of their newest lights, and just like Nitecore likes to do, they have done something new. Nitecore seems like they're always one of the first companies to try new technologies with their flashlights. So I'm going to show you each surface of the box here. If you want to pause, you can look at anything that's printed on the box, and that's that. So the EC4 uses a single XML2 U2 emitter. I'll go ahead and open it up here. It's kind of Nitecore's standard packaging. We've got the flashlight right here, and then we've got all the accessories, such as the holster. We've got the lanyard and the manual here. And a warranty card. I'll show the manual really quick if you want to pause and look at any surface of the manual. I know it'll be sideways, but I'm sure you can figure it out. So if you want any information from the manual, there's that. And we'll take a look at how it fits into its holster. So there it is right there. You'll see the holster has in the back a Velcro flap, or a flap that's tied down if you just want that, and then also this plastic loop, little Nitecore tag there, and that's the holster. So, the thing that's special about the EC4 is that it's Nitecore's first die-cast aluminum flashlight. Now this is kind of a fun technology. Basically what they do is they just, to make the light, the entire body is of one piece, except for the tail where you take it off to put the batteries in, and they just have a mold, and they pour the aluminum into the mold, and that's how they make the light. So the result is that it's supposed to be a lot stronger. The body is supposed to be a lot stronger. It's supposed to be more lightweight and better at dissipating heat because it's all one piece. It's definitely more lightweight than any other flashlight I've had this size. It's very lightweight. Also, I've found the anodizing is different than, I don't know if this has to do with the die-cast or not, but the anodizing that Nitecore has used here is more of a matte kind of anodizing versus what I would call gloss anodizing. It's probably not the technical term, but that's how it feels and looks to me. It's got a fun texture to it, a little bit different than a lot of their other flashlights, or most of their flashlights that are anodized aluminum. But it's definitely more lightweight. I haven't tested how strong it is, but it seems pretty strong, and it looks pretty good. So, it uses a Cree XML U2 emitter. I believe I said that already. You can see that right down there. It's got a smooth reflector, and the light is set, the emitter is set fairly deep into that reflector, so even though it's not huge, I expect a decent amount of throw out of it. You can see we've got a stainless steel ring around the bezel here to help protect the flashlight. If you drop it or anything like that, it'll keep it from getting dinged up too much. You can see we have some heat dissipation fins, kind of a fun design. Usually the heat dissipation fins go kind of radially around the head, whereas now they're kind of, you can see they go from the front to the back. On either side there, you can see the two switches that control the flashlight, and a little bit of knurling here on the sides, and then these sides are flat with the EC4 model number there, and this side's blank. Back here you can see this is where the tail is. This is how you get the batteries in. So if you look back here, you see this little hole here is a standard tripod mount, so you can mount this light on a tripod if you desire. We've also got the hole for the lanyard right there if you want that. And taking a look inside. And now the inside is a little bit different. Something worth noting, most Nitecore lights have built-in a mechanical reverse polarity protection, so that if you put your battery in backwards, this won't be able to, the negative terminal won't be able to contact where the positive should be. This is a little bit different. If you notice this right here, I'll see if I can get a good angle on it with the camera, it's slightly raised above the level of the board, so this will make connection with a flat top battery I've found. So I haven't, yeah, the flat top batteries I use are just slightly raised, and it's enough to make connection with that. So that's just something a little bit different than most Nitecore lights. It follows the standard of putting the negative terminal on the spring and the positive terminal on the flat part, but it also has this little sticker in there to let you know which direction the batteries go. And you can see this is where the screws of the tail make connection here. It's kind of just a fun design, and these tabs slip over either side. It's a fun tail design, something pretty unique. So we'll go ahead and put some batteries in it here. And these are my flat top batteries. I'll show you can use them. Alright, and as I said, the light's controlled by these switches up here. So this is the switch to turn it on and off. This is a single click to the power switch, turns it on and off in whatever mode you use last. And once it's on, this switch in the front, the mode switch, you click to cycle through the different modes. So it looks like the ultra low, low, the medium, the high, and the turbo. And you can see here it's got a pretty well defined spot. The smooth transition out into the spill. It looks pretty blue on your screen here because of the way I have the white balance set. It'll look better when we get it outside. So that's the basic operation. You just turn it on and off with the power switch and then cycle through the modes with the mode switch. Also, when it's on, if you hold down on the mode switch for a second, it goes to strobe mode. Holding down on it again takes you to, looks like the beacon mode, where it flashes once every couple seconds. Holding down one more time, we go into the SOS. And again, we're back in the strobe. And the strobe mode is not memorized like the other modes. So if you leave it on in strobe, it'll come back, and turn it off, it'll come back on in whatever regular brightness mode you used before that. Also, when it's off, if you hold down on the front button, the mode button, it'll turn on directly in turbo. Or if you hold down on the power button, it'll turn on directly in ultra low. So that's a good feature. No matter what mode you used it last, you can always have direct access to turbo or the ultra low, which is great for a variety of situations. Let's see what else. Also, when it's off, if you double click the mode switch, you have direct access to strobe. So you always, no matter what mode you left it in, you can always get directly to strobe, ultra low, or turbo, the minimum or the maximum output, if you know that you need it right away. Let's see, one more thing. When you hold down on both the switches at the same time, it does a quick flash and then lets you know it's in the lockout mode. So now if you click either of the buttons, it won't do anything. It's great for if you're not going to be using it for a while. You put it in a bag or a pocket or something like that. You don't want it to turn on accidentally. It's really good with these electronic switches, which tend to get bumped. So it's a good feature, and then you just hold down on both of them for a second again, and then it'll come back on. So that is the interface of the Nitecore EC4. Stick around for just a second and we will take it outside and give it a shot in the dark. Alright, and before we take the EC4 outside, Nitecore sent me a special treat I want to share with you guys. They sent one of the unfinished bodies after the diecast. So this is a look at what the diecast looks like. You can see here this is just the unfinished, or excuse me, the unanodized aluminum. It doesn't have any of the components added. It's just what comes out of the diecast. So it's pretty fun. So you can see here, it's I mean, obviously pretty similar, but if you look down inside, you can see where the components go, where the wire is thread through. You can see this is where the switch would be here, and you can see the heat dissipation fins before they get anodized. It's just a pretty fun look at this. You can see the knurling here, and it's fun to look down inside there and see what the insides of the light look like. So this is what's inside your EC4. It's just this single piece from the diecast plus this the tail piece here, and the tail piece slides right on over that. It fits together snugly. You can see the hole for the screw that secures the tail cap, so that screw would go in there and come through here on this side. So that's what the just the die-cast body of the Nitecore EC4 looks like. So with that, we can take it and go give it a shot in the dark. Alright, welcome back to Review the Light. We've got the Nitecore EC4 here in the backyard. We're going to go ahead and fire it up. So there it is. You can probably see the hotspot pretty well there on your monitor, and you can also probably see the extent of the flood. Just in case here, I'll put my finger in the beam so that you can kind of see where things are here. So this is about the point where I am seeing the hotspot in this circle here, and then the flood comes all the way out to the edge of the screen here now. So it's a fairly narrow beam overall, not super floody. Most of the beam is pretty even until you get into the hot spot, which is definitely brighter. So a little bit more on the throw side than the flood, but not so far that it's impractical for up close work. So I would say mid to throw is how I'd probably classify this. So I'll look around a little bit. Let's see the different modes. So here we are in the lowest mode. It's not showing up on the camera. You probably won't see it on your monitor, but I can see with my eyes the hotspot at the fence back there. The flood isn't really making an impact on the fence, although it's still good for up close work. So even this lowest mode is plenty to walk around in at night, especially if you don't want to be using a lot of battery power or drawing a lot of attention to yourself or ruining your night vision. So here's the second mode here. And now you can probably see the hot spot. For me, this is the mode that I would probably use most often, just to walk around in a dark area, because the flood is giving me plenty. Anything close enough to me that I would want to know that it's there, I could see in the flood region and not just the spill. So this is what I would use normally. And then here's the third mode, a little bit brighter. You can probably definitely see the flood on your screen by now. And the fourth, and finally the brightest mode. And in this mode, you know, anything even in the flood region, I can see really well. Oh, here, I'll point you up into the trees a little bit, so you can see that up there, and way over there. You can see it's got a pretty good throw for how compact the reflector is. So the tint that you're seeing is pretty accurate to what I see. It's a little bit cool, but not really bad. So even if if you're not super picky about your tint, then this will be just fine. I wouldn't complain about the tint. It's really good. So this is, and I'll show you the strobe modes as well. So this is the fast strobe. This is the beacon mode. And the SOS. Alright, and I'll take us one more time through the regular brightness mode. So here's the dimmest mode. There's the next step. 3, 4, and 5. So this is the Nitecore EC4, and thanks for checking us out at Review the Light. Again, if you haven't yet, make sure that you click this button right up here to follow on Facebook, this one down here to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That'll keep you up to date on the latest reviews and videos. And if you want any more details about the EC4, any of the specifics, all the great stuff will be in the full review, and I'll put a link to that in the annotation as soon as, in the video description as soon as it's ready. Thanks, and have a great night.